Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of our statistics project walkthrough video. So last week we finished step 1 and step 2 and went to step 3. Show Mr. Burns step 1 and 2. So we did a conference last week, or hopefully you did. If you haven't conferenced yet, very important. Make sure you do that. You're going to need to have your question ran by me so we can narrow some things down. We'll talk about why in a couple minutes here. But here's the plan for this week. We're going to do steps 4, 5, and 6. So let's start with step 4. I'll walk you guys through it so you have an idea what it's going to look like. 4A, do any required research and record notes for at least 3 studies. At least 3 studies. You're going to have to do a lot of different sources to actually get a good picture of your research. So find at least 3 things related to your research question and attach them here. So that just copy paste them on the bottom somewhere. It does say don't forget to cite them in MLA style. I'm going to give you guys a run through on how to do MLA style citations next week and show you how to use this website, bibme.org, which is really good for just generating these citations, so you don't have to learn how to format all this stuff by hand because it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, you'll have to do at least 3 studies related to your research question. So if we go back to last week, my research question was Pepsi versus Coke, I believe, right? Like, who do people prefer to drink, Pepsi or Coke? So I went ahead and quickly did some research before I started this video. Here's what I got. I got marketrealist.com. How did PepsiCo and Coca-Cola perform in 2019? So we've got their companies competing, some innovation stuff, their recent performance. So I got some numbers here I can use, right? Like PepsiCo's third quarter revenue. I can look at, I think our Coke's in here somewhere too. You can see their growth, full year outlooks, all kinds of good stuff. I found cmsconnected.com, which was, where did it go? There we go. This is their who wins on social media. So if you scroll down, you see worldwide. These are Coke's numbers and Pepsi's numbers, and North America only, Pepsi and Coke's numbers. And I found foxbusiness.com, which talks about their stock market valuations. So it talks about like what are they doing from 2019 into 2020? What were their stocks at? How much did they change by? Both companies expected sales to grow around 4%. So you're seeing both. Whoa, what the? No, I don't want to turn on ads. So yeah, both companies are around 4% growth. So I got some information there. So I got 3 good sites. What the?
So earnings season is winding down, but I got to tell you this one.
All right. So those are my 3 sources. I've got them cited. Well, I haven't yet, but I would copy down all of these websites. I would copy paste this exact thing. So I have the exact website, I wouldn't just say marketrealist.com. I would have this entire website copied and I would paste it probably just in the bottom of this document somewhere. So I had it accessible later when I want to do my bibliography. So checked off. Next, display the data in a visual way using your answer from part 2A. Now I've got a bunch of different information here, right? I've got like stock market valuations, I've got social media numbers, I've got value overall. I have to choose what I'm looking at. Am I going to graph all 3 and show comparisons of all of them to draw my analysis? Am I looking at specific numbers only? Like, am I only pulling certain things from each website? Even if I'm only using numbers, let's say from marketrealist.com, I'm still going to cite these 2 because they're still giving me insight on the Coke versus Pepsi kind of battle and who I think is going to win. Even though I'm only graphing numbers from here, I still want to cite those ones. But either way, you can pick. Do you want to do one graph? Do you want to do multiple graphs? Do you want to use data from one place or multiple places? Totally up to you. You're going to put it together. I'd recommend using Sheets for this. Google Sheets is really handy for making graphs. So here's one I found. Pepsi versus Coke, likes by age group. So this is a double bar graph, of course, because it's in categories. And so it kind of gives you a quick overview of, hey, look, Coke is winning at every age level until above 36. So all the younger people like Coke, older people seem to like Pepsi. And there's a split right there, which is kind of interesting. And so that would maybe be one of the graphs I pull out to give you an idea of what they're looking like. If you're doing information over time, you can always use line charts. Very good for information over time, right? You can see how things are changing over time. It's up to you. Depends on your data and what you want to show. Even pie charts, parts of a whole. How many people like Coke versus Pepsi versus don't have a preference? So of all the people I interviewed, these are the parts, the percentages that liked each. So whichever you use depends on your data. As long as you have it graphed, check when your graph or graphs are done. And it says attached, you just copy and paste them again into the bottom of this document somewhere. Or you could send it to me as a separate document when you're done. That's fine as well. Honestly, actually, those graphs are probably going to end up in your presentation. So that would be cool too. And part C, analyze your data. What conclusions or predictions can you make? Did I prove or disprove it? Well, let's take a quick look here. Coke, Pepsi's revenue is up to 46 billion. Coke's is 28 billion. So Pepsi looks like a bigger company. Social media, Coke is way outperforming Pepsi though. If I look at Fox News, it says they're both pretty much even in terms of growth. And if I look at my graph, Coke seems to have captured the younger market. Pepsi has the older market. So they seem pretty even. My analysis of this, my conclusion is going to be that I think Coke might actually be winning the sales battle because younger people prefer it and a lot more younger people are drinking Coke. So older people seem to like Pepsi, but there's less of them drinking the product. Now, even though the numbers show that Pepsi's revenue is way bigger, Pepsi and Coke are both big companies. I feel like Pepsi might be outselling them maybe in snacks or something like that, but I don't think they're outselling them in drinks, given this graph and the fact that their information, their stocks are pretty even, and the fact that Coke is outdoing them on social media, which again points to a younger audience being targeted, right? They're more active on social media the younger you are. So that would be my conclusion, my prediction. Now, did I prove or disprove my hypothesis? Oh, now I realize that I've done something bad. My hypothesis was Coke the drink versus Pepsi the drink. This is the Pepsi company and Coca-Cola's company. These are social media hits from the companies. This is stock information for the companies. I didn't actually look at the drinks at all. So I didn't prove or disprove my hypothesis. I answered the wrong question. So my research actually wasn't very good. And I realize that now that I'm doing my analysis, oh crud. Now, if I have time, ideally, I would go back and I would find more information on the drink itself. But let's say I'm going to roll with what I've got here. I'd say, no, I did not prove or disprove. So nobody say, yeah, I proved it, or, oh, I disproved it. In this case, I'm going to have to say, I didn't prove or disprove it because it turns out I couldn't find information on just the drink. And that's going to come into play in step 5. Evaluate your research. Did you answer your question well? No, I definitely did not. I needed more information. I have all this information about Coke versus Pepsi, but nothing about the drink itself. Because Pepsi and Coke, of course, sell all kinds of different drinks and all kinds of different snacks. They're food companies. So all this information is for their total sales and their total social media hits and their total stock value. It tells me nothing about just Coke the drink versus Pepsi the drink. Is the data biased? Well, if I look at this data, these are sales numbers, they are stock projections, these are taken right off of a market. The odds are pretty good. These numbers are all rock solid. This graph, on the other hand, Facebook likes by age group from Pinterest. This is probably not good data. This is very much likely biased. Not only is the source Pinterest, which is not awesome, it's likes by age group on Facebook. And so you're only sampling Facebook users. And of course, Facebook users have their own age demographic that probably mirrors this graph pretty close. So you might be getting a skewed perspective. It's not that there are no old people drinking Pepsi and Coke. It's that these old people are not on Facebook, right? You don't have 80-year-old grandmas on Facebook as often, so maybe they're not represented. You're missing huge age groups because of this. So this would definitely be a biased graph just based on where it came from. What other questions could you ask as a result of your research? Okay, so turns out that I couldn't find the answer to the question I wanted, so maybe I want to step this up a bit. Instead of looking at, I found the entire company, but I want to get closer to my actual question. So instead of asking my question again, because that was too tough, let's kind of split the difference here. So instead of looking at just Coke the drink, maybe I want to look at the company, Pepsi versus Coke, but I want to look at specifically their food sales versus their drink sales. Maybe I could find that information. So I could split them into a food department and a drinks department, and I could see if maybe Coke's drink department is better than Pepsi's, but Pepsi's outselling in snacks. I don't know. Maybe that would be my next step. Maybe I could look into drinks versus snacks. What other methods could I have used? Explain why. Well, I had a really hard time doing this research, so there should be definitely things I could improve. This could either be, maybe I could narrow my question down a little bit in terms of either digging deeper into more specific websites, or maybe I needed to narrow my population down to just Niverville. That way I could have sampled by talking to all my friends, talking to my parents, sending out emails, sending out a survey in town. I could have surveyed people around and gotten a good sample of Niverville, and that way I would have known something a little more useful to town, right? If I wanted to actually use this information, I could say, hey, I've done this sample, and I could go talk to Subway or Gans or Chicken Chef and be like, hey, do you guys use Coke or Pepsi? Because I've done this research and Niverville prefers, and I would have the answer for it. So that'd be kind of cool. And the last step we're working on this week is your self-evaluation. Did you use enough resources? Well, I clearly did not because I only found business stuff. So, no, I didn't. All my stuff was based on the business. I couldn't find anything for the actual specific drink. Was my question too broad or too narrow? Mine was definitely too narrow. I couldn't find specifics for it. It was just too small. I had to go bigger and look at the entire company. So, my question was too narrow. It was difficult to find information for just the drink. How well was the data collected? Well, this data itself is actually pretty rock solid, I would say, other than the sketchy Facebook graph. Most of these numbers are probably quite reliable and really good. They just didn't answer the question. So I said the data collection went well. Like all the numbers are solid and not biased and should be really good, but it didn't quite answer my question because it was too narrow. And were there influencing factors on the collection of data? Again, probably not. You can look at each website individually. Probably not for these. This one, probably sketchy. But here's what I want you guys to do for this. For influencing factors on the collection of data, I want you guys to actually look at the sources. Where does this stuff come from? So like this is cmsconnected.com. Okay, CMS Connected. What are they? What do they do? Focus on the web content management industry. So this isn't a business website. It's a website internet company. So they don't actually do they're a media company. They're not a business company. So how reliable is this social media data? Well, I don't know because they're not actually a business or marketing or research company. So, all of a sudden it turns out that this data might not have been very good. Were there influencing factors? Yeah, one of the people that did the research was a media company, not an actual business company. Now, they were looking at social media, so maybe that actually reinforces that, maybe it is good information. Let's look at marketrealist.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of most websites, they have a little section like this. What is Market Realist? Market Realist was founded in 2013 to make institutional quality market research accessible for experts and non-professionals. Wow, that sounds like literally exactly what we want. We want high quality market research and we're non-professionals. It sounds like this is literally the perfect website. So marketrealist.com, it looks like they're doing exactly what we need. They're seasoned analysts, meticulous editors, backed by a tech team. Like they've got it's it. This is good stuff. So this is probably a very reliable website because their entire point of existing is to do market research. So influencing factors would probably be on this one. Well, this is actually a social media, like a media website, not specifically business. This is foxbusiness.com, and I don't know if you know much about Fox, but they're pretty well known for not being that reliable. And so I don't know. I mean, this is business, which might be a little bit stupid ad again. So it might be a little more reliable because it's their business stuff. And again, we're looking at stock numbers. So they might be pretty okay to actually use as a source. But if you were using Fox News reports, that might not be as good. They are pretty well known for stretching the truth a little bit. And again, for this one, you say, I don't know if this data, like if I want influencing factors right here, it's on Facebook only. It's likes by age group. How effective is like as an indicator of if it's actually selling or not? It's from Pinterest.com, which again is non-professional. Someone could have just literally made this graph up and put it on the internet. I have no idea. Now it says Forrester Research. What is Forrester Research? All right, Forrester Research. Come on, tell me about yourself, Forrester. They are brand and communications leadership in a time of crisis. So I still don't actually know what they do. Let's go to the bottom. They have an about here. Policies, UK slavery statement, sitemap. So it doesn't really tell you what they do. Let's look at investor information. Maybe that'll tell us something. Forrester is one of the most influential research and advisory firms in the world. Okay, so if that data from Pinterest was actually based on Forrester stuff, it probably would be okay. If they're a research and advisory firm, they're probably doing pretty good work. But I would highly recommend you doing what I just did and actually looking at every single website you went to, dig into who the actual company is that's doing it. You might be surprised to find out that some of them actually don't have connections or are related to something else and might be influencing your collection of data. So that's it. That's the plan for this week. Dig into your stuff, complete your project, make your graph, and then spend some time concluding and analyzing. What did you show? Did you answer your question? Was it actually something you could answer? Did you have enough resources? Stuff like that. Next week, we'll talk about presentation. and how to do your bibliography and MLA style and stuff like that. But for now, just focus on getting your data put together, your graphs made. These can all be separate bits for now. We'll put them together next week in our presentation. And show me your thinking here. I want to really see evidence of good thinking. Just saying it's not biased because it's on the internet. It's got to be true, right? That doesn't work. You got to actually do some thinking. Show me that you've dug into these different websites and you know something about where your information came from. So that's it for me for this week. So I will see you guys next week for another chat. Oh, before I leave, while you're working on this stuff, if you are getting stuck on something, you're not really sure where to go, you're not sure how to answer any of these questions, send me a Google Hangouts message. We can chat about it. We can work through some stuff, and we'll get you well on your way. Now that's officially it for me, and I'll see you guys next week.